Here is our redo of my video lesson. I had some audio difficulties in my first one, so hopefully my computer will pick up all of our conversations this time. So in my classroom, I would have begun this lesson by letting my students know the day beforehand that they should bring something to class the next day that is important to them or that they have a story about that they'd like to share with us. So I'm going to go ahead and begin it with the class sitting in large group. And here's my large group classroom. I'll go ahead and assume that maybe I've got 15 to 20 kids instead, but we'll have Stuart stand in as at least one example here. All right. So class, today I asked you to bring something in that had a special meaning to you. It could have been anything, could have been a toy or video game, something like that. For me personally, I brought in this little ring. I don't know if everybody can see that. It is a little gold ring. It's got a turquoise inlay, which is just a type of blue stone. And this is important to me because I got it from my mom. And my mom actually received it from her mom, who received it from her mom. So this ring is actually close to 100 years old now. Came from my great-great-grandma, just great-grandma, my grandma's mom, because her parents ran a trading post along the border of New Mexico and Colorado with the Navajo tribe, and it was called the Nota Dene. So they had a lot of this turquoise jewelry, and my mom actually has the majority of it now that's been passed down in my family. So the reason that this matters to me is it's what we would call a family heirloom. And an heirloom is just an item that's been passed down through your family from the generation to generation. And so I wanted to share something special, but I also wanted to give you guys an example of kind of what we're doing today. And that's going to be working on our public speaking skills as well as our active listening skills. So what public speaking consists of is exactly what you just saw me do. It's an instance where you're the one sharing and all eyes should be on you. And for the rest of us, that means that we need to be participating in active listening. So when it's the speaker's turn to share their item with us, I want the rest of you to be working on your active listening skills. Now, what that's going to look like,
not like this.
Little Miss Potter, using your active listening skills, is I want to not only see you guys using your ears to listen, but I want you showing that you're listening with your eyes always on the speaker as well as your body language. And so utilizing some head nods or smiles is a good way to utilize some of your body language to let your friends know that they're being heard while they're sharing. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to break up into our small groups now. We're going to do about groups of 5 at a time, and I've given you all an assigned group. So here in just a second, let's go ahead and get split up. But before we do, I'd like you to retell me, Stuart, when you are active listening, what should that look like?
I should keep my eyes on you.
Okay.
I should keep my mouth closed because that's being respectful to those people that are talking.
Very good. Eyes, ears, and body language. So let's take a second, you guys, and get broken up into our small groups here. All right, group 1. Let's go ahead. Stuart, would you like to start with what you brought today? Everyone else, remember that eyes, ears, body language, showing him that we're listening, because I'm sure he's excited to share what he brought today.
I, with my friends, play a card game called Magic the Gathering. I've been playing for about 6, 7 years, about 6 years, and I collect the cards. And these are all rare cards. I have about two of these binders, but some of these are worth about 6 cents, and some of them are worth about $60. Um, and I enjoy the game because it's a chance to be creative. It's a chance to have fun with my friends, and it's a chance to really just collect on a financial level. It's a good investment most of the time, but it's been a long road. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, thank you, Stuart, for bringing that in to share with us. And everybody else, thank you so much for doing a good job with your active listening skills. I didn't hear a peep out of anyone while Stuart was sharing, so I'm sure he feels good about being heard because everyone else was respectful. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the next person to share. And that means, Stuart, it's now your turn to practice some of your active listening as well. We're going to go around everybody in our group. Those were great shares. All right. Now that everyone's had a chance to share in the group, I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next group. And what you guys can be doing in the meantime is I brought you a little worksheet here. And you can do this in class, or you have the choice to finish it at home if you'd like to. But all it says on here, it's just a really short, kind of a little exit ticket here. I just want you to list whatever it was you brought today. You know, Stuart, put your magic cards in the first section here. And then just give me maybe a little 1 to 2 sentence kind of, blurb about why that was special to you. I know that I heard you say that you like to play with your friends and that it's a good financial investment. So those are 2 things you could sit under your second section on this worksheet. And so you guys can go ahead and work independently on this, and I'm going to pop in with our next group and see what everyone over there has to share. Now, do you have any questions about the worksheet or what else you should be doing right now? All right, so you guys get to working on that independently. I'll touch base with you here in a few minutes. All right, so I have had a chance to hear everyone share, so let's go ahead and come back together in our large group here. If I can have everyone take a seat on the main carpet. All right, guys, I had such a great time hearing about all of the things that you brought from home today. I'm sure a lot of your classmates had a lot of fun listening to your shares as well. Would anybody like to share with the classroom? Were there any things that particularly stood out to you, or any of these items maybe you'd like to hear a little bit more about outside of class? No?
No.
All right, well, I encourage you, if you guys did see anything that stood out to you, definitely make that connection with your classmate. I'm sure they'd love to tell you a little bit more about it. We each only had a couple minutes to share today, but this might be a chance to make some new friends and see if you've got something in common with someone. Maybe someone in here, Stuart, would like to play a game of Magic with you. But for those of you that did not feel like sharing today, that's definitely okay. I'm glad that you at least were respectful and practiced your active listening skills with us. And in place of the public speech, you do have the option. I brought some construction paper as well as some magazines with different types of photos. And I would love to see you guys make maybe just a little collage of any of these pictures of things that you like or that make you happy. And you can feel free to turn that in later this week. If you would like to work on it maybe at home with your parents, that's definitely okay too. And for everyone else, I'll go ahead and pick up worksheets. Anyone that did finish it in class, Otherwise, I'll round around tomorrow if you need a little extra time to work on that at home. But thank you guys so much. Everyone did a great job with their shares and their listening. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too, Miss G.